Hey everyone, it's Zach, and today we are actually going to switch it up with a new team. Now before we were running Urshifu and Terrakion, and today we are going to try another Swords of Justice. Now most of you are going to think that I'm going to go with Cobalion, but actually I wanted to try a team with Virizion. So this has the Togekiss, Dragapult, Excadrill core, as long as Rain with Kingdra, Politoed, and Virizion. My mindset being that if they want to lead flying types, I can always go with my rain mode, and then for modes other than that I can use Virizion. So here we see a Luxray, Talonflame, Amoonguss, Urshifu, Sylveon, and Tyranitar. So looking at that Talonflame, Virizion is not looking good for this matchup, but honestly an Excadrill lead could. And then we're gonna put the Rain in the back. I found myself, I did some test matches on my other game card last night before starting this team, and I wasn't Master Ball, but I ended up doing pretty well. I do not always feel confident in the rain mode. It is easy to overcome, quite frankly, especially if they're matching rain or if they can get their own airstreams off or tailwind. And that's something I have to worry about with the Talonflame. But running a rain team should help it out, as well as having the Excadrill lead. So we're going up against Cole, and we'll see how he leads. So we're going to see Amoonguss and Luxray. So that might be one of the best leads I could probably get. I want to high horsepower, but I am worried about seeing the Talonflame switch. And we're actually just going to see Luxray protect. And Amoonguss is probably going to try to get a Spore off. So maybe Rock Slide would have been a better choice there. And we do get the flinch on Amoonguss, so that's good. And I think now would be a good opportunity to max Airstream into the Amoonguss slot. And then hopefully the speed boost will be enough to outspeed the Luxray. And I think here I want a high horsepower into that slot. I'm worried that the boost and max Airstream won't be enough to take out the Amoonguss, but this is a crit Togekiss, so hopefully we can land a crit and take it out. It is a very bulkier variant with leftovers. And we're actually going to see the Rage Powder come out. So we'll high horsepower into the Amoonguss. And see an Ice Fang. That's decent damage though. So we are able to take out the Amoonguss and also get ourselves a speed boost, which is really good because this Togekiss is bulkier with lower EVs on speed, and the Amoonguss on the other hand, the Excadrill on the other hand, it's max speed, but it's not scarfed or anything, so having the speed boost is always good. So I think here I want to just max Starfall into the Luxray, and I'm actually going to switch out into Politoed. Just bringing the rain will neutralize a lot of what Talonflame wants to do. Not to mention we'll have access to Icy Wind and Helping Hand. And we will see the Luxray Gigantamax. And we're going to go ahead and see Talonflame Tailwind with its Gale Wings ability, giving it priority for flying type moves and a Max Lightning. We do have a bulkier Togekiss, so luckily we were able to survive the hit. And get good damage into this Luxray. So here I just want to chip down that Talonflame and actually switch Excadrill in, because I want to say you try to Brave Bird the Togekiss and go for the Max Lightning into the Politoed. So I really need to preserve Rain, especially with that Kingdra in the back, because Kingdra without Rain is very lackluster. So we're going to switch out Politoed and bring back in Excadrill. And we're going to see the dual Wing Beat actually go out into Togekiss. So it's curious to see whether they doubled. And we see the Talonflame's actually Life Orb. And actually Max Hail into the Excadrill. So it seems like you did predict the switch. And we'll get a Max Airstream off. And get a good amount of damage into Talonflame. Okay, so that gives me some information on the speed brackets. So even though I did use 2 Max Airstreams after the Tailwind, I am still the slowest on the field. Unfortunately though, we don't have the Rain anymore, and I don't feel like we could get it in safely. But I am going to do Follow Me with Togekiss to redirect anything we might see and go ahead and muddy water into both these slots. So Togekiss will use its Follow Me, and whichever Pokemon hits it first is going to do, and we'll see a Flare Blitz come out. So the question is, does Kingdra survive? Talonflame does go down to Flare Blitz recoil, and we'll see a Max Lightning come out. I don't think Kingdra survives though. Nope. So we see next is Urshifu, and it is the water one. Now I would protect to try to stall out terrain. How much turns of terrain do we have? We have 4 turns of terrain. That's not happening. Let's just go ahead and Icy Wind. We'll probably get knocked out this turn. Urshifu is going to go for close combat. Take over 50% damage. over 60, I want to say. And Wild Charge comes out from the Luxray, and that will be our first match. Okay. So it's a good start. I knew that I was going to be facing a little different types of matches because I wasn't Master Ball in my previous cart. So coming into Master Ball with this team, I knew there was going to be some adjustments that need to be made. So we're going to go ahead and continue battling. And honestly, my goal for today is just to like get the team leads figured out and get a little more comfortable with it. I don't know if maxing the Togekiss that last match with a Luxray on the field was a good choice, but I wanted to try to get the speed advantage while I could, and also be able to take out that Amoonguss before it starts sporing and making some havoc go on. So our next opponent is going to be Jamie, and we see a lot of stuff going on. We have Rillaboom, Volcarona, Lickitung, Grimmsnarl, Scizor, and Crocodile. So I'm worried about the Crocodile lead. I feel like Priority Bullet Seed might activate a weakness policy. So I'm going to go ahead and try to run the Dragapult Virizion lead. So we're going to go ahead and see Rillaboom and Grimmsnarl. And actually, a tricky eject button and fake out is kind of concerning. So I think here I want to set up the Reflect and just protect turn 1 to see what they want to do. We're going to go ahead and see a Dynamax, and I would have to assume it's the Rillaboom. Which isn't the worst, because that means Grassy Glide won't have priority because it's Gigantamax, so we don't have to worry about it trying to overpower us. So we're going to go ahead and see a Sucker Punch from the Grimmsnarl, and we're going to get up a Reflect, which is really good against this offensive Pokemon. And we're actually going to see a Max Airstream. I think I have to try to outspeed the Rillaboom here. I am max speed in Jolly, so there is a chance. Actually, no. I think their base speed is 108. Rillaboom's is like 105, I think. So after our max Airstream, yeah. So I think I just kind of threw this match. And the Sucker Punch will come out, but it will bring Dragapult to its Focus Sash. So we're going to go ahead and beat up the Virizion. And Dragapult still outspeeds. So that's hopeful. But if Rillaboom attacks first, I think this match is basically over at this point. What flying type moves does Rillaboom get? And Rillaboom is going to outspeed us. But you target the Dragapult. So we're going to go ahead and max Airstream this Rillaboom. And after the beat up, we are able to take it out. So that was a pretty positive turn of events. We did lose our Dragapult, but it got the beat up and the reflect off, so it really served its role in this matchup. And next we'll see Licky Licky. So I think we're just going to Dazzling Gleam, and they don't have a ghost type to bait in, do they? No. So we'll go ahead and max Knuckle into the Licky Licky, because I feel like this could be their Dynamaxmon. So we're going to go ahead and see a taunt. So he was predicting either a Follow Me or a Yawn. But we're able to just one-shot the Licky Licky with max Knuckle. And then the Dazzling Gleam should do really good damage to Grimmsnarl. And actually brings it down to a Sash. No Focus Sash, but... So we have one turn left of Dynamax, and my opponent has yet to Dynamax. And we'll actually see the Crocodile. And an Intimidate will go off, so that's no good. But a Dazzling Gleam here is going to do a lot of damage. And yeah, let's just max Overgrow into the Crocodile slot. Because you haven't Dynamaxed yet, so it's worth a shot Dynamaxing at this point. But I'm trying to think of what Crocodile could have that would do well against Virizion, being a Dark and Ground type, especially with Grassy Terrain up. So we're going to go ahead and see a Sucker Punch, which will do absolutely nothing to Togekiss. And we'll just max Overgrowth into the Crocodile. And we are able to just take it out. And then a Gleam will be enough to deal with Grimmsnarl, and that will be it for that match. I definitely think I handled the turn one well. Seeing something like a Rillaboom Grimmsnarl lead was kind of scary, because I was worried about like Fake Out and Eject Button, Trick Eject Button, which could be a really good strategy for getting rid of a beat up Pokemon. But when the Rillaboom decided to Dynamax, that took away a lot of its priority. Let's see, what did the Grimmsnarl have? Light Clay. So Fake Out and Sucker Punch were its only moves, and Light Screen was pointless against my lead. That could have been really scary, but it ended up being okay. So we are able to pull out a comfortable win. Next up, we're going against Marseille. And once again, we see the Urshifu, Talonflame, Luxray. Luxray is something I didn't think was going to get a lot of usage, but I think here the Togekiss Excadrill is once again a good lead, and we can always bring Rain in the back. So if we do see a Talonflame by chance, we can always switch in the Politoed. So we'll actually see the Dragapult and the Talonflame. So I think here, Dazzling Gleam would be the best choice. And as weird as it sounds, I want to switch in the Politoed. Because unless you're a special Dragapult with Thunderbolt, where you can max Lightning, you're really not doing much threatening to Togekiss or Politoed. And we're actually going to see Dragapult Protect. And we're going to see a Taunt come out. So you wanted to prevent the Follow Me before you set up. Okay, so we did chip that Talonflame, so that takes away his priority. So I think here we can just Icy Wind and Dazzling Gleam. It's not going to do much of the Talonflame, but it's going to start slowing it down. And here we're going to see a Dynamax, and that's a Moonball, so I would have to say it's probably Dragapult. So we could see a Max Airstream or a Max Lightning. Max Lightning is worst case scenario. We would neutralize the Max Airstream with Icy Wind as long as Politoed survives. So we're actually going to see a Max Phantasm. And that hits Politoed pretty hard. And Talonflame's going to set up the Tailwind, unfortunately. We do unfortunately activate a weakness policy onto the Dragapult. And we'll just get an Icy Wind off. So I'm worried about Togekiss. Well, I'm worried about Togekiss not taking out that max, not living the Max Phantasm. So I think here I just want to Dynamax to try to survive it and switch back in the Excadrill to try to preserve the Politoed, because I need to keep Rain viable for Kingdra in the back. So we're gonna go ahead and Dynamax Togekiss and try to hit it as hard as we can with Max Starfall. And we'll see another Max Phantasm go out into the Excadrill. So unfortunately that does knock out the Excadrill. And Brave Bird's going to come out into the Togekiss and do really well because it is -2 in defense. Hopefully the Max Starfall is enough. And it is. Okay. So I think after the Dragapult's down, it is really safe. Even though Tailwind's still up, it's really safe to bring in the Kingdra and just muddy water. and we'll actually see Luxray come out. And we'll see an Intimidate go off, but both of these Pokemon are special attackers, so it's not really going to worry us that much. And they have 2 more turns of Tailwind. So I think I want to max Starfall here and just Muddy Water. Because if Luxray is Guts, it has to Protect. And I think that's what it's going to do. Well, no, that's Male and DD, so you don't get Follow Me support. And Luxray avoids. And we do great damage on the Indeedee. But we'll see a Wild Charge go out. And the recoil is actually going to do a lot. So I'm really concerned about Scarf expanding force. So I think here we just have to Muddy Water because we have to try to get the double. And the Luxray didn't get a Flame Orb activated, so it's not Guts. Oh, it's intimidated us. So expanding force will go off and be enough to crit the Kingdra. And we see that it's Life Orb, and Wild Charge will be enough to just take out the last 3 health points on Politoed. And I have to say, like, Luxray is impressing me. Might try my Guts one. So I think we are going to call it for today. How do you like the team? Which one do you like better? Do you like the Tracheon team or do you like the Virizion? There's definitely some changes I've already thought about making on this team. Primarily switching Cobalion for Virizion. Switch them up, but there would be other changes I would have to make. So I want to hear from you. What do you think about it? How can I change the team? How can I make it better? If you like the video, the best way you could show that is by liking it. And if you want and view more of my VGC content, you can also subscribe. I try to upload daily videos during the summer. So anyways, I'm Zach, and I hope I see you in the next one.